All right, you guys, what is going on? We are live. Today is the second, third podcast with Jewish Dates. Currently, we have Carabella on. We do have a special guest besides her coming on today as well.
What's up, everybody? Hello.
I,
Hello.
I was trying to get in as much sharing as I could, but that video goes too damn fast. I wasn't able to get in a whole lot of sharing. So, guys, do us a favor, help us out. Share the video as much as you can so that we can get it to as many people as we can. Because we do have some really cool stuff going on today. We have a show special going on today. Kara, if you want to let them know a little bit about what that is, I think they would appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in with us tonight. We are about to have a special guest joining us. Mr. Pedro Gomez will be tuning in for us today. But we're going to be running some Drew Estate specials. And the reason we are doing it is because we have just launched our, I should have taken this out of the cellophane before I started this, but we are launching, sorry, this is a new device, so I don't know where my camera's at. The Year of the Rat limited release Drew Estate cigar. So we are running specials. You can call, the number is down in the ticker to the cigars and more, actually in El Segundo. We usually do them out of Bakersfield, but we're running the event out of El Segundo. So the number's right there, 424-277-1053, and they'll get you going. But the deals today that we're doing, you want me to go over the deals right now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So if you buy any 10 Drew Estate Joya de Nicaragua cigars, you're going to get the Liga Privada ashtray. I feel like mine's a little dirty. And then you're also going to get the delicious Joya Connecticut CT, as well as the Deadwood Sweet Jane. I'm sorry, this is the Fat Bottom Robusto. And then if you do a box, what's up, Pedro?
There he is right there. How we doing?
And then if you buy a box, you're going to get the Liga Privada survival kit, okay? So, I guess I should have set myself up a little bit better here. In the Liga Privada survival kit, you're going to get the tactical flashlight, and it is branded with the Liga number 9. And I will say, I'm going to say, don't test this, but I left this outside and it got all wet and sat in water overnight and it still works. So I would say don't test it, but it worked for me. So you get that inside of the toolkit. You also get this knife. I was told the other day I'm not allowed to say switchblade, but it's it's a Liga number 9 branded knife as well. And it's really sharp, I will say. And then you get the packable backpack. So this is not a hip sack or anything like that. This is actually the Drew Estate. And just like that, you have your backpack.
Wow, that's awesome.
So if you buy a box, you're going to get that survival kit. And then you're also going to get, the reason we are all here, the Year of the Rat cigar. And then on top of that, you're also going to get the Herrera Habano, the Acid 20 Robusto, and then the Undercrown Toro.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's with the box. And then if you do a multi-purchase, you're going to get all of that, the ashtray, the survival kit, all the cigars, and then you're also going to get our box jack, which is, I'm showing you the Norteño one, but the one you guys have is actually the T52, I believe, Liga Privada one. But it's just like this. It is a cutter and a bottle opener. So, but it'll be a different brand.
We did a giveaway because you guys gave us a couple of those about a year ago, and we were giving away like 10 packs of cigars. We were giving away cutters, lighters, and ashtrays. People wanted those. I mean, Those things were super popular. We only had 2. I felt so bad. But they're like, no, I don't want the cigars. Give me that cutter bottle opener thing. That thing is awesome. So, yeah, those things are pretty damn cool.
Yeah, these are really good. I like them. And, people question the cutter, but I use this thing all the time. You just got to be careful you don't cut too much off, So,
yeah.
But yeah, so that's everything. And because we have Mr. Pedro Gomez on the line today, we also have the manifestos. Did Michelle tell you about the manifestos?
He did not. He keeps all the treasures to himself. He never shares. So, yeah, I wouldn't even get a word about those.
Interesting. Well, I'm gonna have to shoot him a text right now because what we're gonna do for anybody who buys 2 boxes, they're gonna get a manifesto coffin. All right. So the
Wow.
number, yeah. So then they're gonna get all of that, all the goods, all the cigars, plus the manifesto because Pedro's on the call with us today. So yes.
Right. Yes.
So
how you
Pedro,
doing, Frankie?
That is,
Hi, Pedro.
Pedro, I'm doing great, man. It is so awesome to have you here. Before we get started with the questions that I have for you, because I have quite a few, I want to give you a second to introduce yourself to people who may not be familiar with who you are or what you do inside the Drew Estates family.
Absolutely, man. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you so much for Cigars and More to setting this up. Thank you, Cara, my man Frankie. Thank you so much for the question and all your audience out there. So thank you so much, guys. My name is Pedro Gomez. I work for Drew Estate, and I have been part of Drew Estate family since 2006. So it has been quite a journey, So I started with them back in Nicaragua. I run different departments in Nicaragua, and now I am the factory spokesperson for Drew Estate. So
now, what kind of stuff does that involve?
That kind of stuff involves a lot of events. I mean, before COVID-19, I was traveling all around the United States doing cigar events, pretty much bringing end consumers, cigar smokers, to Drew Estate, and also let them know everything that is going on in Drew Estate factory. So doing trade shows, in-store events, all different type of events, and also running the cigar safaris in Nicaragua, leading the cigar safari tours, and also doing presentation at the Drew Estate Barn Smokers. But back in the days, I was involved in the international sales department. So I was running that department for 3 years. And then way before that, I was running the Cigar Safari. So I was running the Cigar Safari from 2008. That we started with Cigar Safari up to 2015. That was the year that I promote somebody that I hired. His name is Henry. So Henry nowadays is the director of Cigar Safari. So 2020, we were starting with the Cigar Safari groups. And the company sent me down there to Nicaragua to lead the groups. Unfortunately, we were not be able to travel again, so we have to postpone those trips. And way before that, I was the operation manager assistant. So I was very involved in every single department of Drew Estate Factory. And, and then way before that, I was just the go-to guy. Whatever somebody needs, call Pedro. So, that's how has been my journey with Drew Estate.
That is fantastic. Now, you're originally from Nicaragua, correct?
100%, buddy. Well, 120% born and raised in Esteli, Nicaragua.
He's the mayor of Esteli.
Man, it is fantastic for me to be in your show. It is fantastic to me to talk to your audience out there, Thank you, everybody that has been supporting us from day one. And we are still going strong because of you guys.
So Pedro, real quick, before you guys get too into what the questions or whatnot, just so you know, we are live on their Facebook page. So if you want to share this to yours or any, you can. Oh, nice. I've already shared it to mine, just so you know, because I know you'd like to share it out. So
awesome. You know what? Let me share it right now. So let me go to Caras, and then I'm gonna share this one really quick. Hold on. Give me
one. Can, if you go to the Bakersfield Gentleman, you can share it from there.
Okay.
Or share it from mine, whatever.
Yeah, right here. Boom.
But for everybody just joining us, you guys, we do have Carabella and Pedro Gomez from Drew Estates on right now. We are running several show deals for you guys. You guys can take advantage of that through Cigars and More El Sedendo. You guys will find their number at the bottom of the ticker, as well as what we have going on as far as sales. You give them a call to find out everything that they have in stock. But they carry, I don't think there's anything that they don't carry from Drew Estates, including this fantastic Liga Privada number 9 Flying Pig, which is by far one of my favorites.
Can't believe you got your hands on some of those this year.
All right, here we
go. Very, very limited this year on the release.
Yo, thank you so much for, I'm sorry that I'm doing everything from my phone. So now you guys can hear me and see me nice and clear, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, good. Very good.
So what got you over to the U.S. to start working in the cigar industry? What was the story behind that?
Well, the first time that I came to this beautiful country, Frank, that was when I got the opportunity to win a full scholarship paid by the United States government and managed by Georgetown University. That program was called CAS. CAS was a program that was helping third world countries from Latin America. One of those countries was Nicaragua. So in 2003, I applied for the scholarship. By August 2004, out of 300 students, they picked only two, and out of those two, it was me. So
Wow.
I came through the program, and they sent me to Iowa. In Iowa, I went to study the language. I studied the English over there, but at the same time, I was taking classes with the translator because I applied with for international commerce. So they only gave us 6 months of English classes, and then you're on your own. So
Oh wow.
2006, 2006, I graduated with everything, with honors and all the stuff. But part of the rule is that you have to go back to your country, and that's what I did. So I went back to Nicaragua, and I knew back in 2000. I mean, I knew since day one growing up in Escali, I knew that it was a lot of cigar factories in town. So I said to myself, hey, you know what? Let me go with my resume, and be ready and go and look for a job. So I went to every single cigar factory that you could imagine back in that time. My last hope was Drew Estate. Thank God I got the interview with them, and they said to me, we don't have anything for you, Pedro. We like your resume. So if you wanna work, come tomorrow and we're gonna find something for you. So the next day I show up, man, with a notebook and a pen and learn from everything. I mean, trying to learn as much as I could and learn from everybody in the factory. So years went by, but when the company moved in for good. But the first time that I came to the United States with Drew Estate, that was back in 2007. So Jonathan Drew invited me for the IPCPR that it took place in Houston, Texas. So I was coming to the United States once a year to help out with the booth, Drew Estate booth, setting it up. So for me and the guys from the factory, it was a really nice trip because we were coming to the United States. The whole trip was paid off by the company, so it was good, man. So I was coming just for the trade shows, man. But things start to move forward with Drew Estate, from being a small little factory to become one of the biggest in Nicaragua. And when you are in those type of companies, if the company grows and you are in the same pace of how the company is moving forward, you are gonna move up with the company. So by 2012, Jonathan offered me the opportunity to come and work for them full time here in the United States. And of course, and I say yes. Say,
No,
boss, I'm
absolutely.
ready. I'm ready when you're ready, but I am 100% ready. And say, don't worry about it. We're gonna get you a lawyer that is gonna get you a work visa. So I came here with a work visa in 2003. Since 2003, I have been traveling non-stop. And then 3 years after, Drew Estate sponsored my green card. And so God has been very good. Life has been amazing. I never knew how beautiful it will turn out at the end. And I take every day like this is my last day, man. So absolutely, man. So God is
Fantastic.
good, bro, and Drew Estate is amazing.
So we do have a question for you from Joseph, who's watching over on YouTube right now. He says that he's new to Drew Estate cigars, but what would be a couple good ones to start off on? He enjoys Maduros and medium blends from Nicaragua. So what would you, Pedro, think? And then Kara, after he answers, maybe you can give us your thoughts.
Joseph, my man, thank you so much for checking this out. This is Drew Estate, and we got what you need. So if you're looking for, if you are new to the game, I will give one auction, and then Kara will give another auction. So I will
Oh,
start off with Acid Cigars. You know, Acid Cigars is pretty much for new cigar smokers. Any cigar that is infused from Drew Estate. So you got Acid that is a mild to medium. We use the top raw materials, tobaccos from Nicaragua, and grappers that comes from other country. They are infused with botanicals. They're nice and easy to smoke. Another one, easy breezy, is Tabaco Especial. You got the Tabaco Especial Dulce and the Tabaco Especial Negra. Another one, Frankie, that a lot of people are talking about. That cigar is so dang hot, and that one is Deadwood Cigars. So you got Crazy Alice, Fat Bottom Belly, Sweet James, and the last but not least, which is the one that is making a lot of noise, is Leather Rose. And Cara, you know, I'm very sure that she got some auctions in the traditional part.
exactly. Yes, I was gonna say, Joseph, if you're already enjoying cigars and you love them and you just are looking for something in that medium range, it's a Maduro from Drew Estate. I would highly recommend the Herrera Brazilian Maduro. It's a beautiful Brazilian Matafina wrapper, Nicaraguan binder fillers, dark, rich, smooth, medium body through and through. I would recommend that one, and then I would also recommend probably the Undercrown Maduro. It's a San Andreas Maduro wrapper. A little bit more of a. Some people say it's a little bit. It has a spice to it. I don't catch a lot of spice off of it, honestly, but it looks like a very dark cigar. It looks very dark here. Sorry, I have new camera. I don't know where it's at. It looks very dark. It looks like it's going to be heavy, but it's actually a medium body, really rich and all that stuff. So, and if you want to try something of our limited line, which a lot of people, depends on how long you've been smoking. I think number 9 is more of a medium blend. It's really full on the palate with all the rich tobaccos, but strength-wise, I do think that, at least for me, it is on more of the medium side. But it's fuller on the palate side. So those would be my 3 recommendations on the traditional side for something Maduro, rich, but medium body. Yeah.
Fantastic options, Joseph. I hope that helps you out with that. And if you ever wanted to pull the trigger on trying some out, I think now would be the time to do it. That way you can take advantage of some of those great show deals we have going on for you guys right there at the bottom ticker. So Pedro, you know, for being someone, you know, like Kara, who travels a lot, you know, how has this year been, you know, adapting to the not being able to have that ability or that option to be able to get out and interact with people? I mean, how have you combated that? Have you noticed yourself doing a lot more social media? Have you just been kind of waiting? What have you been up to?
My man, Frankie, that's the question that everybody probably has been asking since day one when everything started. But I always see that life is about changes, you know, and everything is about how fast you can adapt to the new normal, you know. So to me, yes, it was like coming to, 2020, we were thinking to do a lot of great things in Drew Estate, great events, you know, like multi-vendor events and in-store events, barn smokers, cigar safari. We were coming hard like nobody else. But this thing happened, and basically, you know, it changed the whole dynamic of the whole plants. And what we were doing nowadays is that we got this beautiful platform that is called BSSC, that stands for Virtual Stores Events. So basically, you know, our TMs, like in this case, Kara, our territory manager, she set up event with her accounts. Then she invite. It could be me, or it could be Willie Herrera, it could be Juan Martinez or Jonathan Drew, and then we go and help them out, you know. But everything has been about evolving to the new normal. Of course, it has been very difficult to all of us, not being able to be in the road. I mean, the last time that I was in California, I was doing an event with Cigars and More. That was a great event, and it was a lot of people coming. But you know, with the COVID-19, you have to really think outside of the box. And with a company like Drew Estate, we cannot stand still. we have to be thinking in how we can be up there, without putting everybody in risk, the people that comes to the events, and without putting ourselves in risk as well. So I remember that in March 15, they sent everybody to work from home, all the marketing guys, the sales department. The only people that were working in Drew State warehouse were the people, I mean, the Drew State headquarters were the people that are still working at the warehouse, making sure that all those orders are leaving in time, But it has been difficult, but just somehow or another, man, you have to take one day at a time and kind of adapt yourself to the new normal. And while you're working from home, you might find new hobbies. And I have found new hobbies, which is really cool. Never imagined that I would enjoy them so much. And that's how I have been taking this, brother.
What are your new hobbies, Pedro? Did you hear me?
Now, do you guys have audio problems? Just check the audio right here. 1, 2, 3. Frank, you good right there? Just say something.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
What
hear you.
about you, Karen?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Karen,
Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you here.
Okay.
Hold on.
Pedro, I was just
We
asking you,
gotta
what are your
work with the
what's your new
control right there.
hobbies?
1, 2, 3.
Pedro. Pedro, can you
1,
hear
2,
me?
3.
I can hear you just fine. I can hear
Okay.
both of you just fine.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, maybe it's on me. Hold on, let me see. Wait a minute. All right, well, yeah. I don't know. Well, as long as your audience listen to us, that's what really counts,
But what Kara was asking is a great question as well. What are some of these new hobbies that you've come to love?
Oh, very nice. Well, you're gonna be my. Thank you so much, Frankie and Kara. Every time that you ask me a question, you say it to Frank, and Frank's gonna say it to me because that's the only way that I listen to you guys. So my
Okay.
new hobbies, brother, has been fishing. I love going to fish, and when I first started, I was going 3 times a week. Right at the end of the day, after all long times meeting that we were having at Drew State, and another thing that I have been enjoying to watch and catch up with some documentaries on Netflix. Reading, I like to read. I like to watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and of course, catch up with people that support and love Drew State on social media. And that's what I have been doing, man. Trying to keep our brands relevant. Because when it comes to cigars, not how many new cigars you can put in the market every 3 months. It's about how relevant your existing brand are to people's palate. And that's how it goes right there. And that's something that I'm very proud to tell you guys that in Drew State, we got a lot of things going on. We got a cool swags, and that's something that people have been enjoying it. Because if you're going to invite 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, even people that are watching this on Facebook, uh, you have to have something exciting to show, and you have to say something that maybe it could be interesting to some people. So, but at the end of the day, it will be hard for a company like Drew State just to wait how COVID-19 is going to unfold, and hopefully we're gonna come out of this one. So we have to do something. So yeah, so those have been my new hobbies. So what about you, Kara? What have been your new hobbies besides growing beautiful vegetables at your house?
That's about it, Pedro. I would I would honestly like to say that I learned a new language, that I learned how to knit, that I learned how, anything. Because when this started, I thought, oh, great. I don't have to travel so much. I could stay at home. I could do this. I could get, all this stuff, right? I'm going to read my books again. I'm going to learn a new language. Honestly, I haven't done any of that. I've taken very good care of my dogs. I have 2 wonderful dogs, and I have a backyard just full of fruits and veggies. So I've mastered growing my own garden, and I haven't bought veggies in I don't know how long right now. It's been probably a couple months since I had to buy veggies. But that's really about it. I'm actually, believe it or not, even though, we are at home, I feel like I'm busier in the sense of like, just, now we're doing the virtual events and all this, and there's always stuff to do and phone calls to make and stuff. So I honestly feel like I'm a little bit busier behind the computer than I normally would be if I was on the road. But yeah, just basically my new hobby is trying not to go crazy.
I think a lot of people have joined that bandwagon right there. We do have a question though, and I'll start with you, Kara. What are you smoking right now, if anything?
Oh, you know what? I'm not smoking right now because 2 reasons. I'm having technical issues with my laptop, so I moved into my office real quick before we started. So I'm on my iPad, so I'm in my office. But regardless, my husband's on his way home right now. He was deployed at sea or whatnot, and it's our anniversary today. So we're going to be having a cigar a little bit later on when he gets home, and I will be smoking the new, whoopsie, Year of the Rat. I got to get used to this camera over here. Anyways, but yeah, I'll be smoking this one in a little bit, so I'm just waiting for him to come home. So
fantastic. And Pedro, what are you smoking on right now?
My man, I'm smoking right here the Underground Maduro. This is the, hold on, let me see. This is the Robusto size.
Great.
And this cigar has a lot of things, man. Cigar is so delicious, so rich. I think that would be a good word to think about it, man. How rich a cigar can be. How rich a cigar can be, Frankie. A cigar could be when somebody tells you the cigar is rich, what does it mean to you?
That's a great question, and that's something that I try to explain to people. When you think of richness, you think of body, but a lot of people, they confuse that with strength, and it's hard to let them know that even though it can be full bodied, have that richness and those deep flavors. It doesn't have to be overpowering. It doesn't have to be a powerful cigar. The strength level could still be a little bit dialed down, but it still has those dark, beautiful flavors that I think of when I think of a rich cigar. It fills your palate with that beautiful oily smoke. You feel it all over, and it's just a fantastic way to describe a cigar.
Yeah.
My man, you say it nice and beautiful. You see this thing right here? It's burning like nobody else. So yeah, man, so that's exactly what this cigar is to me, man. It fulfills your palate. It brings everything from the cigar, and that's what I have been enjoying today. And if I'm gonna go to Frankie's show, let me light this guy up and see how this one goes.
Fantastic. And I'm smoking the Liga Privada number 9, the Flying Pig size, you guys, just to give you guys that information. And then we have a question from Sammy here. It says, what are the top cigars in your humidor, Pedro? And what do you have in your humidor?
Oh, man. On my humidor, I keep Underground Dogmas. I keep, lately, because, my humidor rotates, so I keep Underground Dogmas. I keep Liga Privada double Corona, Liga Privada number 9 double Corona. I have a few of Liga Privada T52. I keep Herrera Esteli Brazilian Maduro. And from people that come and visit me here and there, or just for to share some cigars, especially for people that are not used to smoke premium cigars and they are new to the game, I like to keep some Sweet James, Tabaco Especial Dulce, some Blondies, some Cuba, and that's what I keep. I also keep cigars from other companies as well, because you have to know how the competition is going, and whatever I can get as a freebie, welcome to my humidor right here.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh dang! Here's a good question from Celestino. What do you prefer, a Maduro or a sun-grown?
Celestino, my man, thank you so much for tuning in, brother. Maduro and sun-grown, that's a difficult one right there, because in the Maduro, the Underground Maduro, you got a cigar where we use San Andres Mexican wrapper. It's called the Last Prime, which in Mexico they call Ultimo Corte. Right in the binder we use Habano T52, which is the same tobacco that you're gonna find in the wrapper in the Liga Privada T52. And in the fillers we use tobaccos from Nicaragua and tobaccos from Brazil. So the cigar is a medium body. Now, if I already have dinner, maybe I'm sipping a little bit of rum, Then I will do the sun grown, because the sun grown is a little more step up in flavor. The cigar is medium plus. That's because in the grapper we use the, it's called Sumatra Sungrown, Sumatra Sea Sungrown in Ecuador. That's where the name comes from, the Sungrown, underground Sungrown. And in the binder we use the Habano T52 from Connecticut, and in the fillers, and that's what really makes a huge difference right there. We use all the tobacco in the filler comes from Nicaragua, and one particular leaf is an extra ligero that we put in on that one, and that's why the underground Sungrown is a little more high in strength than the underground Maduro. So yeah, Celestino, that's a good one right there. So it depends, bro. It depends of if I have eight, or if I already have dinner and I'm drinking bourbon or whiskeys or whatever you name it. Oh, by the way, speaking about that, I hope my man Sammy Navarro is watching this. I would like to thank him for sending me a nice bottle of vodka that is called
Huh?
Trust Me. So my man, thank you so very much. You hooked your boy up. Thank you so very much. So next time, Cara, he said that next time that I'm in California, he's gonna invite us to his house, and he's gonna cook, and we're gonna drink and eat. So Sammy, I
Yeah.
hope that you're doing good. So yes. So I
He is
like to drink
watching.
all
He is
kind of
watching
stuff,
right
man.
now.
Okay, Kara's saying that he is watching right now, so that is awesome.
Yeah, he's
That is
watching.
awesome. We do have another question here for you. When you first started smoking cigars, is there a cigar that got you sick?
Yes. Wow, man. I never imagined that question will ever come to light. And who asked that? That was Alex.
That
Alex
was
Ramirez.
Alex.
Is that the same person right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex, bro, everybody is new at some point. And I do remember that I was still working at Drew State factory. And that was the time that I was smoking a lot of Cuba Cubas as cigars. And then the quality control chief, his name is Marlon, he said, "Hey, Pedro, come on right here, bro. We need you to test this." I was like, "Sure, but you got to puff it nonstop. Like, take it like deep, deep, deep." And then I got the cigar, man, and that was pretty much the prototypes of Liga Privada number 9. Man, I started to cough like a sick dog because I wasn't used to that level of strength. Another thing was the prototype of the blend. So pretty much maybe at that point the it wasn't the original blend, because at that point we were just making different blend before we came to Liga Privada number 9. The number 9, it was the blend number 9 that became Liga Privada number 9. Probably I was smoking blend number 7, and blend number 7 was loaded up with a lot of ligeros. So I started to turn white, then green, then red, and I was coughing and almost dying. I feel like it was a flame, like fire coming out of my chest. And yes, it got me like that.
And Kara, they wanted to know the same thing from you. Was there a cigar that got you sick when you first started smoking?
I honestly don't even want to admit this. But it was probably about 12 years ago now. Yeah, it was 2008-ish, I would say. Um, Believe it or not, I would say that the cigar that first made me cigar sick was that Gurkha cognac infused cigar.
Oh, the Gurkha cognac. Okay, okay.
Yeah, that real big one in the glass tube.
In the glass tube. Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the wax on the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called the. I don't even know what it's called, but yeah, that cigar was probably the first cigar that I recall that actually made me cigar sick, and it was because for me at that point I was like so green, so new into cigar smoking, and that thing tasted so good, and it was such a big cigar for me, and I'm just smoking it, and the people who were with me, the guy who gave it to me was like, "Be careful," and I'm like, "Oh no, it's fine, I got this," and then yeah, I definitely got green. I got a little upset stomach, but luckily, they did the old trick. Gave me a little chocolate, gave me a little soda, and you're good as new. So, but yeah, that fucking Gurkha.
Okay. Okay. Now, I have a question here from Ronnie. Ronnie is asking Pedro if you can do a push-up.
I know, bro, that he was coming with that one. Oh my god, man! I can't get enough of Ronnie. I just can't get enough of you, bro. But yes, I will do my homework. I do know that I own you 22 push-up, buddy. And by the way, Frankie, you're gonna love this one. Your audience is gonna love this one, man. This is the challenge that is going on Facebook. People are calling everybody out, for do 22 push-ups for people, the veterans that are committing suicide. And I know it's sad, and it is terrible when you have friends, family, relatives, that somehow have been going through uh, struggles, emotional and mentally. And sometimes, people just can't they just can't see it clearly, man. I
Yeah,
got you running, bro. I will do it for you, all right?
that is fantastic. For those of you guys just joining us, you guys, we have Carabella, who is our local rep for Drew Estate, and Mr. Pedro Gomez, who is a spokesperson for Drew Estate. And we have running show specials for Cigars and More El Segundo. You guys can find their phone number right there at the bottom. Give them a call, place your orders. You'll see all the stuff that you guys get when you do your box orders. And when you do the other amounts as well. So give them a call. You guys, they got plenty in stock. So don't be afraid to give them a call. Now, I do have an important question for you, Pedro. Earlier, you brought up one of your hobbies. And it's also one of my hobbies as well. I love fishing. I go deep sea fishing every year with my brother and my dad. Next year, we're taking the rest of the brothers with us. You go deep sea fishing, you go off the dock, you go to a lake, and what do you like to catch?
Well, there are two spots right here in Miami. I like to go to. I haven't gone into the boat into the ocean yet, but I'm planning to do it. As soon as this thing is over. So trying to go in a charter boat. That's what they call. But what I do, I go to the bay. They have like a little shore fishing. That's what they call. So I like
Okay.
to do that, and I also like to go and fish in the leaving Miami, heading to the west, like deep into the west. It's called the Everglades. So I like to go fishing over there. One thing that I have to always make sure is about the alligators. There's some big MF around there. So it's like being in the wild. And yes, I have caught some some fish, and it's awesome, man. I think it's a good way to decompress yourself. It's a good way to kind of, have fun. I like to take some cigar with me and maybe invite one friend or two. We go and have some beers, smoke some cigars. If we catch something good, if we don't catch, that's fine. So the good thing is to catch up with friends.
Absolutely. I think maybe once
You
all
know
this
what? And
COVID stuff
speaking
is
about
over,
it's yeah, man. Bro.
we'll
The thing
definitely
is
have to
this, man.
talk to Jonathan about running or chartering a boat out of Channel Islands. So next time you guys are in California, we'll all go out to the Catalina Islands and do some fishing out there because that is fantastic out there.
Oh yeah.
That's right, bro. I love it, man.
Beautiful out there,
Really,
yeah.
really cool, man. So, have you caught something big? What is the biggest fish that you have caught?
When I go deep sea fishing, I like catching rockfish sounds, but I like to catch my limit because I like to bring those home. We keep them whole, and we'll fry them whole, or we'll barbecue them, we'll grill them. I like them whole. I don't like to fillet them, but that's
Nice.
what I like.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's cool, man, because the thing is this, man. Everybody should have hobbies. Otherwise, being quarantined or being at home, it can run you nuts.
Oh,
So, and that's how I keep my mind kind of busy.
and we have a question here from Joseph again. I just have to wait for it to pop up on the laptop so I can see it. Okay, so here's an open question. We'll start with Pedro, and then we'll ask Kara. How much attention do you place on reviews that you guys see your cigars get? From the different outlets.
That is amazing question from Joseph. Joseph, nowadays, as you can see, the industry from the birthplace of social media, and the birthplace or the popularity of YouTube, you got bloggers and people that does review. I like to read it, and it's fun to read it, and it's also good for us. And I'm very sure that Cara is with me to read it, so you can find different cigar lines to describe the cigar that you are presenting up there. So I like to keep cash it out. There's hundreds of bloggers out there, and there are guys that they do it different. They do it with a very cool picture, and then they do a very nice branding in a post. There are other guys that they do it in a video, and but it's amazing, man. Everybody have different tastes, different palate. As long as the cigar is good to you, that's what really counts. And that's something that in Drew Estate we take it very personal, especially in social media when there might be some cigar smokers out there that probably they had a bad experience with one of our cigars, and we like to address that issue right immediately, where we have a customer service. I ask if I am the one cashing up on social media. Somebody may post something without creating too much noise. That this cigar wasn't burning right, or the grapper unfold, or the grapper was cracking up. So I like to, type a little quick test. Hey, sorry that it happened to you, and please send me, your mail address. Let me see what we can do for you. Because, bro, let me tell you something. That stuff is so important. It's not about having thousands of customers. Every customer counts. If there is one customer that is disappointed, you're gonna have 10 after that. So you gotta got pretty much solve those issues from the root, and trying to to customer service, man, is so important. Reviews are very important, but everything goes hands to hand, because customers out there, they are going to buy whatever they read as an interesting, especially if they haven't tried that cigar. Or maybe if they are watching a video, they say, "Man, you know what? I would like to try that cigar." But at the same time, you have to really pay attention to when customers probably was not the right cigar for that person, or maybe the cigar wasn't burning right. And I will tell you something, friend. And at times, difficult times like this, cigar stores, cigars and more, they are top notch when it comes to customer service. Customer service is what really have been people and has been keeping business floating, or has been keeping business and business, because it would be easy for anybody to go to online and order cigar boxes from different online companies. But when you have a good relationship with your local brick and mortar, those are the guys that are going to keep you in business during hard times. So cigars and more, they do a very good job. And yeah, man, so reviews are very important, because you gotta really appreciate the time that somebody is taking just to write something about your cigars. That is, just time is something that we will never be able to buy from anybody, not even from ourselves. So if somebody have the time, to write something about Drew Estate cigar, man, thank you so very much, man. Absolutely, man. And that's the beautiful thing about this industry right here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Kara,
What
how about
about
you?
you, Kara?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, I think reviews and ratings, are extremely important, and I think as a company and as a cigar smoker, I know I pay attention to it, and especially when I first started smoking, that was probably what introduced me to a lot of different brands and cigars. But I mean, it's extremely important. I feel ratings and reviews, because it introduces things. It introduces new lines to people, new brands to people. Um, sometimes there's been times where I've read a review and I had an idea in my head about what the cigar was going to be because of that review, or because of what they were saying about that cigar. And what they were saying about the cigar, I absolutely loved. And so I smoked that cigar and I didn't like it. And so I was like, but wait a minute, they said this and that. And so I went back to the cigar and I smoked it again and I didn't like it. And I will say that this particular cigar I'm talking about, I only got like quarter of a way or half, quarter of a way into the cigar, and it just wasn't doing what they were saying it was doing for me, for my palate. So I literally smoked that cigar, I think 3 times. The third time I finally said, you know what? Put that review out of your mind and smoke the cigar. And then I was finally able to enjoy it because what the cigar was doing was something I was enjoying, but because I had this pre-notion of what they were saying it was going to do, which isn't everybody's palate. Everybody's palate is different. So when you read these reviews, I definitely say read the review, and if you want to see if you're going to catch what they're saying, see if you are. But also don't let that sway your experience, because I was allowing that to sway my experience with the cigar a couple years ago. But hands down, I mean, ratings, reviews, so important to cigar manufacturers and brands. It really puts, the icing on the cake for us when we get high ratings, or if we get rated, top cigars of the year or whatnot when people are doing their ratings. It's huge for the industry, definitely. So.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. Not everybody's palate is the same.
Yeah.
We could all try the exact same cigar and come up with 3 completely different flavor profiles on them, and what might be a medium-bodied cigar for me might be a heavier cigar for someone else. So that's a great point. Here's a question from Lance. He says, Pedro, I'm smoking the Sun-Grown Dogma. What makes the Sun-Grown Dogma have such a different taste than the original Sun-Grown line?
Magic.
And thank you so much for tuning in, buddy. So yeah, come back to your question, man. So the Underground Sun-Grown Dojo Dogma. What an amazing cigar, man. One of the new collaboration from Drew Estate, one of the new cigars in the market. So basically what really makes a huge difference right there is the backpress. When you make a backpress cigars, and basically in the case of the Underground Dojo Dogma, the ring gauge is 54. So the dynamic of once you're smoking that cigar down, the airflow that goes from both gap in your lips, once you put in the cigar in your mouth, is going to burn and taste a little cooler compared to the regular Underground Sun-Grown. Even though that the Underground Sun-Grown Dojo Dogma comes from the Corona Viva size, but the dynamic of the backpress changed big time. Another thing, when it comes, that's when it comes to the taste, and when you have that cigar in your hands, it really feels different,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the backpress right there, Lance. Thank you so much for your question, brother.
Now here's a question about the Underground Maduro. Tom, I'm sorry I didn't see this earlier. He's saying that he gets some harshness on the back of his throat for about the first third. After that, it's fantastic. Is that something that you guys have heard a lot of, or do you know what might cause that?
So he say fantastic. I'm curious. So why it happens? Hot coffee seems to help that through.
Yeah, he's saying in the first third, he's getting some harshness on the back of his palate.
I've never had anybody give me that.
Well, when it comes to that, it has to do in 2 different things. It has to do what you are used to smoke, It also has to do what you ate before. And when it comes to hardship in cigars, one thing that we really take it as seriously is to have tobacco that has been properly fermented. This is very important because you can have a cigar up there that is using tobacco that are not properly fermented in the fermentation area, especially in the pilons. And basically the idea of fermenting tobacco has been since day one. You can go and ask some Cubans in Cuba. Is to take all the impurity out of the tobacco and bring the tobacco to the next level, to the point where you can enjoy the tobacco as it is. So hopefully, I hope that you don't get again that experience. And I truly appreciate the fact that you described the cigar to be fantastic afterwards. And I truly appreciate that. And I'm very sure that everybody from Drew Estate truly appreciate that as well,
Yeah, absolutely. We have a question here from Dino real quick, and I'll start with you, Kara, and then I'll go to you, Pedro. Would you recommend a new Underground Dogma to someone who's new into the cigar game?
Go for it. Go for it, Dino. It would depend. I would ask you, what have you smoked before? What are you liking that you've smoked? Before I recommend anything that's more of a medium to a fuller body cigar for any newer cigar smoker. I did see one of his comments earlier, I believe. I think, Dino, you said you've only been smoking for the last month or so, month and 2 months maybe at the most. So I would definitely ask you, what have you been smoking? What do you like? And if you're liking more medium to fuller body cigars, heck yeah, that's a great cigar. That soft box press Toro. And for me, that cigar, and probably most people, because the Undercrown in itself is a medium body cigar, even though it is a darker Maduro cigar. So you're still going to get more of that. It's still going to be a medium body, so to speak, medium plus a little bit because of the press size, but it was never going to get too harsh or too full body in the strength. For the most part, unless you're brand spanking new, might be a different story. But you're going to get that rich medium body, cigar smoke. So just depending on what you've smoked in the past, is what if I would recommend it to you, or if I would recommend something else to start at and then go there. But I feel like you've probably smoked a nice range of cigars by now, right? Probably. So
Hopefully.
yeah, it would depend. It would depend.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. That completely agree. And, some people have a natural higher tolerance, for
Yeah.
stronger cigars. So that's a great point. So, Pedro, how about you? Would you recommend the new Underground Dogma to someone who is new to cigars?
Probably smoked a nice range of cigars.
Excuse me, Frankie. You're with me now, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. The question was,
All right,
would you
there go, because
recommend?
I'm trying to follow Caras on Facebook. Good. So, well, Dino, well, first of all, thank you so much for everything that you have been doing in social media, brother. We truly respect the love and the passion that you have for cigars. And even though that you are new to the game, I will tell you like this. Everybody has different. Your palate change as more cigars that you smoke. Okay, don't rush your palate. Take your time. Gravitate around cigars that you truly enjoy, and eventually you will get to those full body cigars, and you will experience what other people have been telling you about it. A good example will be like a full body cigar without skipping the Underground Doyo Dagma, the Antaño 1970. I will never recommend that cigar to anybody that is new to the game because the cigar has so much strength. So if you are not used to that type of strength, you are not gonna enjoy the cigar. And it's not fun trying to smoke the cigar from the beginning to the end, especially when you know that cigar is not for you.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I 100% agree with both of what you guys said.
Yeah, I do want to say to Dino as well, if you haven't tried the Shady and you haven't tried the Dogma, this is what I would recommend. Smoke the Underground Corona cigar, and then smoke the Dogma cigar, and then smoke the Shady cigar, and let me know which one you like best.
There you go. That's a good one right there. And I don't know who put that comment, but they said they love the Flying Feral Pig when they can find them, which is great. And if you do like the Flying Feral Pig, you should give Cigars Amor El Segundo a call because I know that they have them. So that should help you out with that right there. And you can take advantage of these show deals that we have going on for the remainder of the show.
And then I did see one other thing since I'm kind of on the Dino kick right now.
Oh my God, you got Phil
Yes.
Flying Pig, buddy?
He
That is awesome. That's a really amazing stick.
Oh wait, I don't think Pedro can hear me. But Dino, you did ask a question about if a cigar gets too strong and you get sick. Yes, Coca-Cola, chocolate, have it handy. That's why you see in a lot of cigar shops they'll have bowls of chocolate, whatever, laying around. Anytime you get a little bit too much of the nicotine and you get a little, upset belly or a little woozy or something, eat some chocolate, drink some caffeine, you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, that's another question we do get a lot. When they get that nicotine rush, what helps them bring it down? We tell them, natural sugar. Get some dark chocolate, get some
Yeah.
Coca-Cola with real sugar in it.
Yeah.
Fantastic as well. Um, so, Pedro, what is next for you? Obviously, you guys are still not able to do as much as you guys would hope to. But what can people expect from you, in the near future? And then what are you looking forward to, once all this stuff is lifted?
My man, thanks so much for that question, Frankie. What is next for me, bro? In the realistic world, will be stay alive,
Stay healthy.
Try to keep
Right?
myself alive, and no, but like in the long term, in Drew State, the beautiful thing about Drew State is that Drew State, even though with COVID-19, hasn't stopped us, and I do know that as long as we're moving forward, there's always gonna be something for us. I go wherever the company is sending me to go, and basically, what the future holds, only God knows, man. But once the COVID-19 is over, I'm looking forward to travel and visiting all of you guys. Being in California, especially in
Yes.
Cigars and More. I do remember one thing, Franklin. The last time that I went to Cigars and More, we were doing this event, and that was a gentleman that worked at the store at El Segundo. When I look at him, I was like, bro, are you serious? That guy, are you Axl Rose, the guy from Guns N' Roses? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Man, that guy is so on point, and the store at El Segundo is a beautiful, beautiful cigar lounge. So I remember that there was a lot of people coming to the event, and we had a great time. And that's what I'm looking forward to do. Hopefully, at the end of 2020, or hopefully, that's what we hope. Cross our finger at the beginning of 2021.
That's fantastic. We're only a couple hours north of El Segundo, but if you do like El Segundo's lounge, Cigars and More 2's lounge is actually the exact same. The pictures are just different on the walls. But yeah, so we have pretty much the mirror image of El Segundo up here in Bakersfield as well. So I got one final question for you because Miguel let me know we're pretty much at time right now. Kara, I'm going to start with you. If you guys are going to have a day of smoking, what are you going to start with? What are you going to have in the middle of the day? And what are you going to end the night on?
Well. But okay, a day of smoking. I'm most likely going to start with either a Deadwood or
So I got one final question for you because Miguel let me know
the Tabac Dulce in the morning with my coffee, and then in the afternoon I'll do the Herrera Habano, the Lonsdale or the short Corona Gorda because that is my jam, and then evening time, definitely, I will be picking up a Liga Privada or a. I'm trying to think. What do I love? Liga Privada or the Herrera Habano, or I'm sorry, the Herrera Brazilian Maduro, and then lately I've been capping my nights off with a little Atabey. I know it's not Drew Estate, but the little creamy Atabays are delicious at nighttime. So yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, then Pedro, I'm going to ask you the same question. If you're going to have a day of smoking, where would you start? Where would you go towards the middle of the day, and what would you end on?
Man, since we are repping Drew Estate, and Drew Estate's in the house, as well as Joya de Nicaragua, I will start off my day after breakfast because I have to eat something, have something on my stomach before I smoke anything, with Antonio, Connecticut. That's an amazing stick out of Joya de Nicaragua. Then in the afternoon, I will go for the Underground Maduro right here. This is a cigar that was born in the factory floor, and it was made and blend by the people that work in the factory, especially the guys that makes Liga Privada. And I will finish it up with the Year of the Rat, which is one of the cigars that we are promoting right now. That one goes with the Bax Deals guys. So call to Cigars and More. They got all the swag, all the goodies. So don't let me tell you what the experience you're gonna get from the Year of the Rat. You're gonna get that cigar for free, and that's what Cara is showing to you right now. And why not, man? That cigar is so limited. Drew Estate is not well known to make limited edition cigars. I mean, but Year of the Rat is so limited. And I don't know if this is going to be the last time that you're going to see that cigar around, but I will tell you one thing, Cigars and More, they got it for you. So call them
Yes.
up, place your order, make yourself happy, because life is too short. Right, Frankie?
That is right. And you know what? I would have to agree with you. I would definitely end my night with that cigar. But before that, I would start my day and have in the middle of the day, I'd have Liga Privada number 9. I could smoke this all day long. I love the cigar. It's fantastic. I just think it's a fantastic cigar. But you guys, that'll take us over our hour. So I'm going to open it up to Kara real quick. Kara, if you have anything you want to say before we go.
I just want to thank you guys again for having me on and having now Pedro on. It's always a pleasure to be on your guys' show. And thanks everybody who tuned in to YouTube, Facebook. The number to call and order is in the ticker here, in the comments on the pages. So hopefully you grab some good deals and the new Liga Privada swag, because there's only a limited time and a limited amount of this the Liga Privada swag. So thanks everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kara. Pedro, anything to say before we go?
Oh, absolutely, man. Well, first of all, thank you so much to your audience for tuning on into this show. Frankie, thank you so much for the great questions. I would like to appreciate and thank everybody that asked great questions, and thank you, Cigars and More, for having Drew stay. Thank you so much for all the business that you do for us. And most importantly, thank you so much for inviting people to try Drew Stay cigars, because you guys are the one that introduce new cigars to people that haven't tried our cigars. So thank you so much for that. Everybody in California, I hope that everybody's good. I got you like Tupac Shakur said, California love. I got everybody right up in here. And I'm looking forward to see you guys next time for sure.
Fantastic. So I want to thank Kara and Pedro for coming on and joining us from Drew Estate. I want to thank everybody for watching, you guys. We will let you get back to your afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. And don't forget, you guys, take advantage of those show deals. Get yourself a box of Drew Estate, no matter what it is. Find yourself something that you like, and take advantage and get that swag in there, as well as that Year of the Rat. Because like he said, once they're gone, guys. So make sure you get them while you can. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Y'all take care, stay safe, and stay healthy.
Thanks, Frankie. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you, Frankie. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.